This is Carlo of 4GQ TV, and I'm here at WonderCon with Andreas Useche.
Useche, yes. We're here with Amy Greene. This is a fantastic, she's a stunt coordinator and also a producer, which is a combination that I don't often find in the industry. So I thought it'd be great for us to hear a little bit about your career. So why don't we start with the latest, which is the Holdovers. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So The Holdovers is my most recent film to come out, and we've had a great time through award season with all of the wins, and Dave Vine winning for Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars was really exciting. That's the second film I've made that has been nominated and won Oscars, so Holdovers and Somewhere. But The Holdovers was really special, working with Alexander Payne for the second time. Yeah, he's fantastic. Hope to keep working with him. We have a great working relationship, and creating the stunts for the film, was something that I always kind of wanted to do. He loves stunts. He loves like the history of stunts and Yakima Canutt and where we all came from. And even though the stunts in the film are kind of, what you'd say are like small, there's no big explosions or, car crashes or anything. They're really important to the story. So creating something that would drive the story forward was, the goal, and hopefully we did that. Yeah.
Now, as a musician, I love the sound of metal. So I would love to hear about your role in it and how you became involved and what you like best about the film or working on the film.
Yeah, Sound of Metal was amazing. We got that script years before we made it. A small movie like that takes a long time to get together and find the funding. And, once we had Riz involved, that really helped. He was just incredible. He wasn't a drummer and he didn't know sign language before we started this film. So he spent 6 months of his life, daily learning to become a drummer. And
But he's a musician.
And decide, yes, exactly. Not a drummer, but obviously knows his music. Yeah, for sure. That movie came to us, and it originally was going to be shot in New Mexico. We were able to kind of pull it into Massachusetts, where we like to make films a lot because they have a really great tax credit. Also, I live there. So then we shot in Massachusetts the same year that we shot Knives Out. So we kind of had this teeny tiny, relatively small budget film for Sound of Metal, and then a bigger budget for Knives Out. So it was an interesting year.
Yep. Tell us a little bit more about the movies that you're producing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Last year we released a film we made with Ray Romano, who is fantastic. It was his directorial debut, called Somewhere in Queens. That was great, getting to know Ray and seeing Queens through his eyes, the way he grew up. Sort of autobiographical as everything is that he does. But working with Ray was really great. So proud of that film. I know you can watch it. Having a lot of people text about seeing it on planes right now. So
I love it.
Yeah, watch it on a plane. So Somewhere in Queens I'm really proud of. And then at Sundance this year, we premiered a film called Suncoast. Mm-hmm. And that's Woody Harrelson and Laura Linney and Nico Parker. And that's directed by Laura Chen. And it's a beautiful story, also kind of based on her life in growing up in Florida. So those are the two. Yeah.
I have that in common. I also did something with Woody. But in Summer in Queens, there's also a pivotal scene that involved some stunts, and I believe you were also involved. You brought your talents into it.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, there were some great little stunts. There's a bit where Ray and his brother in the story kind of get into a drunk fight and stumble out into the street, and they have what Ray was calling an old man fight, but we made it pretty fun with a breakaway plant and some doubles doing like a kind of ridiculous fight. So I loved choreographing that. And then we also it's a basketball movie, and so worked with the basketball kind of manager on the stunt side to help with the authenticity of all the high school basketball scene. So that was great as well.
Fantastic. I love that film.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, I'm a little bit of an activist as well as filmmaker, and very interested in that part of what you do, because I believe you're advocating for more safety and just general well-being on the sets. So if you want to mention a bit about that effort and why it's important.
Absolutely. I've now made, I think, almost 5 films. This next one will probably be the 5th, where we shoot 10-hour days or less in some cases. We make longer schedules and we shoot humane work hours so people can go home at the end of the day. And we're making good movies. We're making real movies with this in mind and keeping people, I think, safer and healthier, both physically and mentally. With that. But I also just really keep an eye out for safety in everything that I do. Being a producer and a stunt coordinator, I went as far to also get certified as an EMT a few years ago, just so I would feel comfortable and have the confidence and the skills to deal with anything that comes up on set that is an emergency. So that's always in the forefront of my thinking, and I hope that I can get some other people on the bandwagon of shooting, making films in a more humane way, because it's the same budget. It's just about how you figure it out and how you rearrange the pieces, create a schedule that's healthy.
And give priority to what needs to be a priority, safety especially, and also the well-being. I think also as a director, I have to say that it's upon us also to take that responsibility and, and to try to rally people and the crew around it, because I've seen some of my fellow directors err on that aspect of it, just because we have to make the hours, but there's nothing more important than the people that you're working with.
Right.
So
yeah, I think we have to look out for each other on set especially, but also kind of remind each other, whether it's in the creative world or production or whatever, that we can all be a little bit safer.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank
It's been
you.
Great.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
All right.